What if I told you that the man who completely broke basketball, the guy who made the three-point shot the most dangerous weapon in the game, was once told he was too small, too weak, and would never make it? This isn't a fairy tale. This is the real story of Stephen Curry. Unstoppable isn't a word you're born with. It's a word you earn. And for Steph, that journey started with doubt. Everyone looked at him and saw a list of things he wasn't. He wasn't tall enough. He wasn't strong enough. He wasn't the explosive, high-flying athlete that everyone expected an NBA star to be. He was just the skinny son of Del Curry, a respected NBA player himself. And believe me, being the son of a pro doesn't hand you a golden ticket. It hands you a mountain of expectations, with everyone watching to see if you'll ever measure up. Growing up, the court was his backyard, but greatness wasn't just given to him. He had to build it brick by brick, shot by shot. While other kids were naturally gifted with size and strength, Steph had to find another way. He had to be smarter, quicker, and more skilled than anyone else. His dad taught him the fundamentals, but it was Steph's own obsessive drive that started to shape his destiny. He spent countless hours in the gym, long after everyone else had gone home. His shot wasn't just practice, it was a science experiment. He tweaked his form, his release, his footwork, perfecting a motion that would one day become legendary. But back then, nobody saw a legend. They just saw a kid who shot from his chest and looked like a good gust of wind could knock him over. When it came time for college recruitment, the message was loud and clear. Thanks, but no thanks. All the big-name schools, the ones he dreamed of playing for, turned him down. They saw him as a liability, a risk not worth taking. Duke, his dream school, offered him a spot as a walk-on. A walk-on. It was a polite way of saying, you're not good enough for a scholarship. But where others saw rejection, Steph saw an opportunity. He chose Davidson College, a small liberal arts school that most basketball fans couldn't find on a map. It was a place where he wouldn't be overshadowed, a place where he could finally prove what he was made of. At Davidson, under Coach Bob McKillop, something incredible happened. Away from the blinding spotlight of major college basketball, Steph's passion ignited. He wasn't just playing basketball, he was on a mission. The gym became his sanctuary. He practiced until his hands were raw, until his legs felt like they were on fire. That unique, quick-release jump shot became second nature, an extension of his will. He learned to use his small size to his advantage, weaving through bigger defenders and creating space where there was none. He wasn't just a shooter, he was a leader, carrying a team of underdogs on his back. Then came March Madness 2008, the NCAA tournament. This is where legends are born, and the entire world was about to meet Steph Curry. Nobody gave Davidson a chance. They were the classic Cinderella story waiting for the clock to strike midnight. But Steph had other plans. Game after game, he put on a show that was simply electrifying. He dropped 40 points on Gonzaga, then 30 on Georgetown, then 33 on Wisconsin. He was hitting shots from logos, from impossible angles, with a swagger and joy that was infectious. He was a human highlight reel. Suddenly, the small school nobody had heard of was the biggest story in sports, and this skinny kid was the star. They didn't win the championship, but it didn't matter. Steph had shown everyone what he was capable of. More importantly, he had shown himself. He knew he belonged. The Golden State Warriors saw it too. They drafted him with the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA draft. They didn't draft him to be the immediate savior of the franchise, but they saw the potential. They saw that unique spark. But the NBA is a different beast. The players are bigger, faster, and stronger. And for Steph, his early years were a brutal test of his resolve. The narrative shifted from too small to too fragile. His ankles, they just kept breaking down. Surgery after surgery. Season-ending injuries. The whispers grew louder. He's injury-prone. A glass man. Another promising talent ruined by his body. It was a dark, frustrating time. It would have been easy to give up, to accept that his body just wasn't built for the nightly grind of the NBA. But pressure doesn't just break things. It can also forge them. Instead of surrendering to his physical limitations, Steph decided to rebuild himself from the ground up. He changed his entire training regimen, focusing on strengthening his core and legs to take pressure off his ankles. He worked with specialists, adopted new workouts, and became a student of his own body. This wasn't just a physical transformation, it was a mental one. He learned to pair his incredible skill with unwavering discipline. He blended his natural confidence with a deep sense of humility. He took all the fear, all the doubt, and all the pain, and he turned it into fuel. He came back stronger, more resilient, and more determined than ever. And that's when the revolution began. With a healthy body and a fortified mindset, Steph started to unleash his true potential. The arrival of Klay Thompson, his splash brother, and the Draymond Green, the heart and soul, created the perfect storm. Then came Coach Steve Kerr, who built an entire offensive system around Steph's unique talent. A system that didn't just allow Steph to shoot, but encouraged it. Encouraged him to shoot from anywhere, at any time. It was a philosophy that flew in the face of traditional basketball wisdom. And it worked. Oh, did it work? What followed was a dynasty. The Warriors became the most exciting show in all of sports. They played with a joy and freedom that was captivating. And at the center of it all was Steph, pulling up from 30, 35, even 40 feet, and draining shots with a casual shrug. He won back-to-back MVP awards, including the first-ever unanimous MVP in league history. He led the Warriors to multiple championships, shattering records along the way. He didn't just win games, he fundamentally changed how they were played. Every kid on every playground started practicing deep threes. Every team in the league, from high school to the pros, had to adjust their strategy to account for the power of the three-point shot. Steph Curry proved that you didn't have to be the biggest or strongest person on the court to be the most impactful. He showed that precision can be more devastating than raw power. That skill and intelligence can overcome physical disadvantages. He redefined what a superstar looks like. He's not just a basketball player, he's a phenomenon. The kid who was once overlooked became the man who couldn't be ignored. His story is a powerful reminder that belief is stronger than doubt, and that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you place on yourself. So, the next time someone tells you you're not good enough, not strong enough, or not the right fit, remember the story of the skinny kid from Davidson. Remember the hours in the gym, the painful rehabs, and the unwavering self-belief. Remember that changing the game doesn't always mean overpowering it. Sometimes, it just means being brave enough to shoot your shot, no matter how far away you are. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by Steph's story, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content about the legends who changed their games. See you next time.